There is a war right now unfolding in Israel, and I'm really thinking about it a lot, and I'm reading a lot, and just just really disturbed how in the 21st century all this is still happening. How with all the understanding that we have of psychology, of human behavior, of conflict dissolution, this knowledge is still not implemented by people who actually could implement it. So this is very sad. I did realize much more this time, and I probably wouldn't be able to realize it if I still lived in Israel. In what harsh conditions people in Gaza live. This is something that as Israeli I really don't have access to. I don't have access to talk to people who live there. So that's something that is new to me, and also, yeah, it just makes me feel really sad. This is for the first time when rockets are falling on Israel. And I suddenly feel so sad for people in Gaza. Israelis are much better defended from this attack, and this is a terrible attack. But people in Gaza, and it's only natural. I think that when people live in very harsh conditions, when there is such a, so much poverty and so many limitations and humiliation, then this is when people tend to choose extremist, violent leaders. Actually, it kind of happens on both sides, to different extent, to different degree. But it's just, we're so brainwashed. We're so wired to attack, to be like in this mode of danger. And I know exactly what it feels like to be Israeli and be like, what do you mean? There is a danger. There are rockets falling. Like, there is a danger. I remember this so well. I remember, hearing the siren and running to hide in the, like, inside of the building, or if you don't have a shelter, or going into a shelter. My parents' apartment, as many apartments in Israel now, have one room that is like a bomb shelter. Yeah. So, but people in Gaza don't have it. Kids in Gaza don't have it. They only see the pain and suffering and a leadership wired for violence and killing. And that's how it continues. I don't know, it's just I've never felt this before, but I kind of can see how if I were growing in these conditions, if I see myself being in this poverty and not being able to go, and seeing some soldiers being mean to my parents, or like people kicked out of their houses, or houses being ruined, I totally could see myself being one of the people who fights. Absolutely. So I'm consumed with thinking, how can this stop? Because to different extent, the brain of people on both sides is very much in this trauma mode. How do we heal trauma? And what comes to me when I sit with this question, what comes to me, what I can do, and would be incredible if more and more people could do, is to find peace inside of me right in this moment, to find love and to find compassion. I have so much hope that the suffering, especially of people in Gaza, yes, I know that for some of my family it would be so hard to hear, but man, I don't know why, I just feel that there's so much suffering there, for people to get into such. And I mean, Hamas knows that Israel is going to respond and react and will do more damage than they probably can with even hundreds of rockets that they fire right now. And still, to do this, and then I'm thinking just about kids and people who have no interest in being military, but they just live there, and density is so huge. Yeah. If we are truly one heart, then each person dropping into the heart and experiencing compassion and experiencing desire and dream for peace to come will contribute to this reality happening. This is what I believe. It's so easy, even for me, I'm so far away from it right now, but even for me to drop into the danger and reading and being on this vibe. And I'm really working on pulling myself back from that into the emotional experience, into physical experience. Yes, it is uncomfortable, it is scary, it is so sad. There is also shame for me right now. Because the quality of life is much higher in Israel. Because the education resources are incredible, right? We do have so much wisdom, we do have so much knowledge. Why we are not using this? Why are we letting people who continue the fighting and who focused on the fighting to run the country? But then you see, that's again brings me to understanding then, well, because there is trauma as well. We're still in a stress response to a different extent, but still, that's, it seems to me more and more the same. Seems to me more and more the same conundrum on both sides. The more and more that danger, the other is terrible, let's kill them. And I'm pulling again myself into, no, I do not want to go there. No, there is no sides. There are people that are exactly the same humans. There is really no difference between them as humans. That needs so much soothing and calming down and developing ability to listen to verbally connect, to learn to live together, to coexist. And may this moment, and as few people, or as many that may watch this, doing this maybe together with me, pulling the attention toward the heart, pulling the attention toward the desire for ability to soothe and to come together, result in a beautiful, beautiful, harmonious living for all the people in this area. And this is what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to be sinking and bringing myself again and again into this reality. Thank you for doing it with me. I love you.